Hey, them do the vote and yes, we again. All of the girl them a give it 10 out of 10. You know fear some you see whole heap of money.
Good morning, my friends.
Hey, yes, I will have the realest swag. I swear to God.
Brekky In The Cave. How are we doing this morning? It's the second to last show.
Woohoo!
We've got a cracker on the way as well. I'm looking forward to this one. Kicking off with the sounds of Christopher Martin. This one going by the name of Countryman.
Some small district come a town and grit. Talk them sleek and with styles unique. Style, we full of style only. And our style them up the girl them weak. Hey, from your proud of where you come from, girl.
We've got loads of stuff on the way. We're going to let you know exactly what's coming up in just a few minutes. But for now, we're going to leave you with this one. Throw a like on the video and let us know how you're feeling in the chat on the right-hand side. And, of course, hit that subscribe button. Oh, yes.
Countryman, and the girl them love with body. Oh, my God. Countryman, yes, I
That's the man like WT4Y.
I swear to God. Countryman, long time we have beat them bad. Countryman, yo, creep green pa my neck, spice bomb pa my body. She said me look and smell too good, me I must somebody. She said she's never seen me around. Me say me just move come down. She said to home clean, she would never know. Country me born and grow. Guess I will have the realest swag, I swear to God. Countryman, and the girl them love with bad. Oh my God. Countryman, yes I we have the realest swag, I swear to God. Countryman, long time we have beat them bad. Countryman, yo countryman, I left some small.
Right then, people, out to the man like 3,000 bass each and every time. Out to WT4Y saying, making a fry up with Brekky In The Cave on. That's what I like to hear. I'm having a posh breakfast today. Gonna let you know all about it. Whoa, that's prime time entertainment, that.
Spain town, might be a Clarendon. Hey, push up every hand. Guess how I have the realest swag, I swear to God. Countryman, and the girl them love with bad. Oh my God. Countryman, yes how we have the realest swag, I swear to God. Countryman, long time we have beat them bad. Countryman.
Right then, my friends, how are we doing this morning? It's Brekky In The Cave. We are live inside the building for this, the second to last show inside this lovely little room. Obviously, the YouTube channel is still going to be up and running. We are going to be still live streaming the show live from the Trickstar Radio studio from Monday. However, this is going to be the second to last ever episode. It's the last full-length show of Brekky In The Cave, put it that way. So it's been quite monumental. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has been getting involved with the show over the past few months. Obviously, as we've grown and as we've built into something what I think has become quite special. You know, people are going to hopefully remember this setting. They're going to remember the layout. They're going to remember me waffling away in my room on the weekday mornings. And it's been very enjoyable to do so far. So thank you to each and every one of you. We've been doing this for nearly 5 months now. How mad is that? Time has absolutely flown. And obviously, times are going back to what seemed like a more normalised circumstance. We're maybe hitting a second wave of some kind, but it looks like we're going to be hopefully trying to fight through it. And this is kind of what's happening now. I'm going to be going back to my my place of residence over on Trickstar Radio, with my show being streamed live from 7 till 10 via DAB. But the obviously the primary usage of the show is also going to be available on YouTube as well. So you'll be able to watch this show live from the studio from around 8:30, 8:45. Haven't quite worked out the timings on it yet, but it'll be around that sort of time. Out to Jack saying, can we ever expect a second series? Well, the second series is going to be the show streamed live from Trickstar. And the timing on it will be slightly different. I think I might do 8:30 as the kickoff time, and then do the similar kind of format with like half an hour of news or whatever. The first hour of the show on the actual DAB show is usually called the New Music Wake Up, so it's primarily kind of music, me talking about music and playing a lot of new ones, with a couple of bits of like weather announcements and road traffic stuff and bits like that. And then the second hour is where like we start getting into a bit more topical kind of stuff and a bit more news. So hopefully that's the kind of layout we can run with as we move forward. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting indeed. kind of looking to the future and how this is going to run. Obviously, there may be a few hiccups at the start in regards to making sure we've got audio right and camera angles right or whatever, because I haven't been able to scope out the building yet to work out the best place to put my DSLR in regards to making sure it still has this kind of homely, discussive feel alongside it still being a professional radio show. So there we go. Out to each and every person locked in right about now. I can see a fair few of you popping up. Make sure, if you are locked in, that you can click that like button on the bottom right-hand side of the video, I believe, because every time someone throws a like on the video, it boosts this video up on the social media scale. The more people that like it, the more people are likely to be able to see it in the long run. So do me a favor, throw a like on the video, and we can crack on. So today we've got a fantastic show on the way. We're going to be talking to two very special guests. Opium, the YouTube channel and General Bass Network, will be joining us from 10:30. I'm really looking forward to the conversation. We're going to be talking all about their kind of endeavors, their movements over the years, their growth as a platform, what goes into running a channel that is primarily based around kind of bass music and how they kind of do their processing, how many people are involved, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a really interesting chat. Also looking at some bangers they've sent over, because I do believe they have some stuff they're releasing in the near future as well, so that should be very, very exciting. Out to Jack saying, well, it's been fun having Brekky in the Cave in quarantine. Thank you for watching, my friend. It's been great having you here. It's been great having friends here to kind of discuss things with and talk things through, but as always, the conversation isn't going to change very much. It's still going to be a very similar kind of look. It's just going to be a different backdrop and a different setting, essentially. The layout will still look very, very similar, just the screen will look slightly different, and it's going to be like that. We're still going to have who's going to be playing, who's going to be guesting on the show on the screen. We're still going to be having like information on the screen and stuff. We're still going to be having like the little ads and stuff like that. I've worked out a way to do it all so it still looks exactly the same. We're just not going to have this background and this wall/weird curtain in the background. So there we go. It's still going to be fun though. Don't worry. It's not as if the show is ending. Obviously, this show here was actually built out of my Trickstar show. So this is almost like a mini version. You're actually going to be able to experience the full thing over on from Monday onwards, which should be really good, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. And obviously, the interviews will be carrying on. The interviews will still be taking place from 9 till 10 rather than 10:30 till 11:30. So it's just everything's a little bit earlier. So if you are kind of waking up a bit earlier, that's the kind of get up. But also the thing to remember is it's YouTube, so you can watch it back whenever, which is the beautiful thing about it. And I've found actually the shows are starting to really kind of creep up in listenership after they're kind of finished now. So this is kind of what we're aiming for. We're aiming to kind of have it so the show goes live and then people watch it afterwards as well, kind of rounding everything up and kind of pushing the whole thing forward, you know, because it means if there's a viewership taking place after we're live, that's cool. That's really, really cool. I think it almost triples a lot of the time in regards to the listenership, so there we go. As well as Opium today, we're going to be joined by a man like Joe Fire, fantastic MC, really, really versatile in his approach. We're going to be looking through some new music from him, some new bangers, getting a bit of backstory on him as well, his kind of journey through the scene over the last few years, his kind of movement between hip-hop and grime, and his involvement in a lot of different projects as well. That should be really, really enjoyable. So yeah, it's going to be a very fun start to the show. Let's get through a few announcements, shall we? There's some interesting bits on here. First of all, of course, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. It's a very important thing to do, purely because if you are... Oh, we had a slight issue there, but we are back, so please do stick around. We had a slight issue with the streaming, but I do believe we are now back in the building. Sorry about that. My apologies. I think OBS decided to go a bit raggo on me, but I think we are back in the building now. Anyway, so kind of moving forward, what we're going to be looking at obviously today is a number of different bits that we are going to be looking through. Obviously the socials in the top right hand corner, you can see Instagram, Facebook, alongside Twitter, and of course SoundCloud. All of those bits are available at Cub KXVU for myself. Following that, of course, with a quick word from our sponsors, Sharpen Digital, a fantastic social media agency. If you're looking to really boost up your project and get involved with something that's a bit different and a bit more explosive in the way they kind of put their campaigns across, they are the alternative to hiring social media managers and the official sponsor of Brekky In The Cave. Would like to shout them out a lot. We're not going to have a sponsor anymore. Oh, that's going to be weird. As well as that, Breakfast with COVID, the interviews. You can catch the show, of course, via Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud if you are looking in for the first time and are kind of wanting to listen to the audio rather than look at my weird face all morning. That's definitely something you can do. And today, of course, is Thursday, which means we are going to be jumping into those Thursday Thursday premieres. We're looking at all the new music videos dropping over the course of the next few days. It should be very exciting indeed. Obviously, Thursday is now seemingly the day where people want to drop their music videos, and that's what we're going to be looking at. I'm looking forward to it. There's a couple of bangers. There's a new Ivorian Doll video dropping. I think there's a new Billie Eilish video dropping tonight. So we're going to be reviewing them, reacting to them, and putting their reactions up on Cubcam TV. They tend to get quite a good, quite good response. So it's going to be exciting to look at those as we move forward. So, as I said before, throw a subscription on the page if you are new. We're trying to hit 1,000 within the next 3 weeks. That's the plan. We're about 150 away, so I am really, really hoping we can make it, especially with the return to Trickstar being in the middle of that. It'd be really cool if we can get to that 1,000, because then we can start monetizing content. Then with woof. Then we're at the races. Then things completely change. Then the whole setup goes boom. That's when we can start really going crazy. Obviously, we've got this deal with Supercharge patterned up, which means when their events return, we're going to be able to headline. We're going to be able to interview all of their headliners, and that's at festivals. Live events as well. We're talking people like DJ Zinc, we're talking Mainu Leng, we're talking like big dance music heads here. We're talking like pretty established figures. Supercharged do tend to go for the big room headliners, which will make it really, really exciting, to be honest with you. So I am very much looking forward to getting that deal on the way. So out to everyone locking in right about now. If you are locking in, please do let us know where you're locked in from in the chat on the right hand side. Out to Jack, out to WT4Y, and out to 3000 Bass for making yourself known. Let's have a bit of conversation this morning, guys, purely because this is the second to last show. It's the last full-length show, and I want to kind of have some conversation with all of you as we move forward. Ideally, kind of like I don't really want to dive into too much news today either. I want to kind of what's the best way to kind of describe it? I want to kind of look back over this show and look back at how fun it's been, look back at how enjoyable it's been, look back at the kind of things we've picked up, some of the guests we've looked at as well. I am going to be dropping a poster this weekend basically showcasing all the different guests we've had on the show, and it's a bit of a madness, to be honest with you. We've had nearly 100 guests in the time that this program has been up and running, which is no, we haven't. We've had more than 100 guests. Out to WT4Y saying locked in from Manchester. Hope everything's okay out there. I heard a rumor that there's a second lockdown in Manchester at the moment. If that's true, I hope you're safe and I hope you're staying well and all that good stuff. But of course, as well as that, my friends, make sure you are throwing a like on the video. I can't stress it enough how much it helps if you are locked in. That hitting that like button makes a massive difference, because it means the reach of the video is automatically expanded, and it means we can get a lot more things going on, and more people are able to see the video. And that's what we want, isn't it? We want a nice community of people in this chat room every morning having a good conversation. That's what makes things fun, you know, and that's what we are kind of looking to do. So, cracking on then, let's get on with some music, shall we? Because I've been waffling on for 13 minutes. Madness, absolute madness. I don't know why I do it to myself. Anyway, let's look at a banger, shall we? We've got some new stuff on the way. Let's have a little look-see through these bangers we've got. You know what? I really liked this one yesterday, so we're going to run it again. Coming from Joba, this one going by the name of Ola. Out to WT4Y saying, no, it's not true, I don't think, at least for me, but maybe not. Maybe it's in certain areas. Yeah, I did hear it was one area, not the entirety of Manchester, so that's probably why. Manchester's a big place, you know. I didn't realise quite how big it is. And it's similar to kind of from my understanding, it's similar to like a London or a Birmingham, where it's got a lot of kind of almost like provinces of Manchester, like little, like almost areas and kind of like boroughs which aren't necessarily referred to as Manchester, but they are part of Greater Manchester. Oh, Oldham. Is Oldham in Manchester? I genuinely did not know. That's where Dennis Irwin signed from for United back in the day, I think, if I'm not too wrong. Anyway, let's crack on. Don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave. Oh, yes, sir!
JP's a production. Show mommy, you know fi say you don't know who I be. Or you want talk say you know sabi my be. Give you lamba, give you what you need. Give you what you need. See baby, ileke marun loko si body. Shewa and your body. I don't dare put that all on me. My body go, if I don't bring that cardi go. Sit by this ride, this pump yo. JP's will not come for me. My body go, if I don't bring that cardi go. Sit by this ride, this pump yo. JP's will not come for me.
There you go. Oldham is in Greater Manchester, like all big cities. That makes sense. Lovely stuff. This is a banger, this one. There we go, my friends. Out to everyone locking in. That one ran through a little bit quickly. Sorry, I got loads of messages on my phone today. Let's kind of crack on. Out to Jack saying this one's a banger. It is an absolute banger. Really, really cool tune, to be honest with you. Let's crack on with a little bit of news. I've got a couple of articles I wanted to dive into this morning. Looking at this one. I mean, this has been around for a couple of days, but I'm just going to jump into it. It's a little bit boring, but you know what? It's good. It's good for us to read through. Online shopping and delivery prices could rise due to a new sales tax plan. UK Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, has revealed plans to possibly introduce an online sales tax in an effort to help the struggling high street shops. With the public being locked in their houses due to months of COVID-19, it's no surprise that the demand for online shopping and deliveries has increased drastically, with big retailers and restaurants being closed. As a result of this, many businesses have been struggling to sustain the costs with no source of income. However, the Treasury claimed that the introduction of a new tax could provide a sustainable and meaningful revenue source, adding that the introduction of the new tax would rebalance the system. Favours online retailers that don't have to pay their monthly costs, introducing a long-term rather than a short-term stopgap measure. Now, my issue with this is, now I'm no economist, I believe it or not, you can probably tell I'm no economist, but what my opinion on this would be is I don't necessarily think that putting an obstacle in the way for one side of the conversation makes it easier for the other. It just makes it more difficult for one side. Surely the point of this would be to raise up the other side rather than trying to negate the side that's currently steaming ahead. I don't know. It just seems a little bit weird to me. You know, just seems a little bit weird. I don't know. It just always seems to be a case of these scenarios being, oh, we're just going to make it harder for one side rather than, you know what, let's give the help to the side that we clearly need to give the help to. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but it always seems to be that kind of way. It seems to be more about stopping than pushing. With it being reported in the Times that the tax would be 2%, raising $2 billion a year for the Treasury, and could lead to a compulsory charge on online deliveries. It has led to many shoppers fearing the inevitable higher prices and costs. This is the thing. This doesn't make it better for anyone. This just makes it more expensive. Like, I don't know, man. Why has it always got to be more expensive? Why can't they just help properly? Christ's sake. The Director of Business and Regulation at trade body, the British Retail Consortium, Tom Ironside, has said taxing the sale or delivery of online goods would simply be another burden on an already overtaxed industry, one that would ultimately hit the consumer through higher spending prices. I completely agree. But it's looking like this is going to be going ahead by the, they're responding on the 31st of October, so we'll see. What are our thoughts on this one, guys? Reading this, Jack, the problem for consumers that have been off work who can't afford to have more expensive shopping on top of bills they have to pay because they are now on lower income. I completely agree with you, sir. Like, let us know your feelings on this one in the chat, guys. I don't normally get political, but we're gonna break this one down purely because I don't know. It just feels a little bit wrong to me. Like, I don't really understand why they've kind of gone at this angle of let's make people pay more rather than kind of helping the high street, and this doesn't help anyone. Like, this doesn't... There are very few people this actually benefits in regards to trying to level an economic basis. It doesn't really benefit anyone, apart from the Treasury, which is... I mean, that's what it's always all about anyway. But let's crack on before I get too mad at what's going on. This next one, coming to us from Marky Ledge, going by the name of No Game. Out to all the locked-in crew this morning. Very much enjoying today's show. Throw a like on the video if you are locked in. Takes less than half a second to do. This is how long it takes. Done. It's madness, isn't it? It's brilliant. This is the thing. If you throw that like on the video, it does make a massive difference to the growth of the channel and, of course, the growth of the video. The more people see it, the bigger it gets. So let's crack on with another banger. This one coming from Marky Ledge, going by the name of No Game. Keep it locked. It's Brekky In The Cave.
You don't know me like you think you do. You don't know me, do you even have a clue? You don't know me like you think you do. This is no game for two, so let's play. This is no game, no game.
When we come, you know we make a fuss, you have a run. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. When we come, you know we make a fuss, you have a run. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. Gun.
You don't know me like you think you do. You don't know me, do you even have a clue? You don't know me like you think you do. This is no game for two, so let's play. This is no game.
Come, you know we make a fuss, you have a run. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. When we come, you know we make a fuss, you have a run. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun. Feel lyric, I go kill him. I mean, I use no gun. I mean, I use no gun.
I was wondering what I was going to read for the next section, so I've only got a couple of minutes on this one. But Daddy Jack has just tweeted me something.
I mean, I use no gun.
Right then, people. Oh, God. This is going to be a fun one. So, Danny Jack has literally just he's tweeted me, saying, I had a dream this morning, which is it's a fantastic way to start off a series of tweets. Friends, lock in. This is going to be an enjoyable one. Here we go. I had a dream this morning that where I was the age I am now, but my mum was the age she was when I was 15. Cub Kovu was also 15, and he gave me Mr. Sleep's flyer. Basically, everything and everyone was 13 years before now besides me. I was aware of this, but I couldn't wake up. That's the point of a dream, Danny. You're not supposed to wake up from a dream. It's the real reality. I looked in the mirror and I was 15 again, aware of the fact I'm 28, but in my head, I'm almost certain I woke up in a parallel universe for a bit, and parallel younger Dean snapped out of it and I woke up here again. That shit was too real. Or am I just batshit? Either way, I really wanted to go back because it felt like it was 2007, 2008, and 2007, 2008. Forward marker, 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 forward marker. There we go. That's a fantastic dream diary from Danny. Danny's dream diaries. Woo! That's going to be the thing moving forward, guarantee you. Thanks for that, Danny. What's the weirdest dream you've had? Come on, chat. This is a good one for you guys. I have a thing with a set of dreams that all kind of link together. I've got a set of probably about 8 that literally all interweave. They kind of go, this one kind of goes up to, if you imagine it as like points of 16, so it will go from like 1 to 3, then the next day I'll have the dream from 2 to 4, so they overlap. And I've got a set of about 16 different dreams that are all different, but all completely overlap and all merge together, which is very, very odd. I don't know if anyone else has this, but it's just like one long story. I tried to write it down once and it just got so out there and bizarre quite quickly. It's mad. It involves a field in Belgium. It involves an underwater tunnel. It involves a warehouse where there's a giant person and I can jump really far. That was just a few of the things that popped up in this bizarre dream. Out to Dinoscope joining us for the first time. How are you doing, my friend? Out to Jack saying, make a TV series with your dreams, Kovu. It's what I'm trying to do. It's what I'm doing radio. This is my dream. So I'm trying to do, my brother. But there we go. Out to Dinoscope joining us for the first time. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the club. This is Brekky In The Cave. Do for our subscription on the channel. It makes a massive difference. We're about to jump on the line with the Opium team. I'm really looking forward to getting into the conversation with them, purely because I know they're going to have loads of good information for us. Obviously, this is one of the most prominent bass networks currently active in the UK. Probably it's definitely one of the highest on YouTube. I know that for a fact, which should be really fun to talk to. So, WT4Y, the horrible woman from my local McDonald's was some sort of sleep paralysis demon want to me. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that happened. It sounds traumatic, to say the least. Especially at McDonald's. Your local McDonald's. The horrible woman in your local McDonald's. That sounds very Roald Dahl-esque, I've got to say. Let's crack on then, because we're going to be jumping onto the line with Opium in literally 4 minutes time or so I need to get my phone set up and ready to rumble. Out to everyone joining us this morning. This is the second to last episode of Brekky In The Cave. We will be live again tomorrow, but we're going to be doing a shorter show. We're only going to be doing an hour because I believe Duke Sky can't make Fresh Fridays tomorrow, so we're going to be doing a shorter show with Tommy B as the guest, but we will of course be carrying on the show from Monday in at the Trickstar Studio, so it's going to be a new setting, nice new funky lights and effects and stuff all going off. It's going to be very tidy indeed. Let's crack on then with an absolute banger that we have on the way. This one coming to us from Chronix. This is one of my tunes of the year, so it makes sense for me to play it this morning. Going by the name of Cool As The Breeze. Absolute banger. Keep it locked, don't go anywhere. It's Brekky In The Cave. Oh yes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Roll out the cool as the breeze. Wallet look like a science book, where a school mega teach. Rev the truck up to the mountain top, and as soon as me reach, go get the skunk, kick the shoes off my feet, then me bless the cup, 32 sounds me read. Give thanks for the love me receive, me work every day in the street, and every day end with nights like these. When a holiday, touch on the beach, a white t-shirt and a cut off jeans, and we not need no sneakers. No. Sun grains and massage me feet, blessing a flow like river. Girl drop asleep, she steam the indica, wake her and say, sun burning up till it red. Welcome to Kingston every day. It's a summer every night, feel like a Friday. Rev the bike till I'm swear. It's on my high grade, I make me irate. Still we not got red lights and nobody thinks every night a Friday. Oh yeah, oh yeah. General, when we touch the road, me and my empress and my brother, then we roll in the stranger. Herbs pretty like an emerald and 1 pound. Now several in the chalice, pop it up, no Babylon to the vapor. Tell her then ready for the energy, we bring in every style of them, I follow, yes, how we are the maker. Spending like I run, I think I Bolton. We come and remember every day of summer when they're there at Jamaica. Hold on, baby, this place kinda crazy. Oh, everybody a dance, catch the energy. Babylon can't stop the music. Rastafari keep it grooving. The whole world a free for touchdown in the West Indies. God, the sun's burning up till it red. Welcome to Kingston every day. It's a summer every night, feel like a Friday. Rev the bike till I'm swear. It's on my high grade, I make me irate. Still we not got red lights and nobody thinks every night a Friday. Oh yeah, every day in the street, every day end with nights like these. When a holiday, we touch on the beach, a white t-shirt and a cut off jeans, and we not need no sneakers. No, the warm sand paint and massage my feet, me locks long like Jesus locks. When the steam this sativa, la 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 la, danza, la 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 la, danza, oh, la la, danza, la la la, danza, la la la, people danza. Welcome to Kingston every day. It's a summer every night, feel like a Friday. Rev the bike till them swims on my eye.
time is live, you have to go through. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. Cam TV, stay locked.
Right then, my friends, we're live inside the building. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is Brekky In The Cave. We're live on Cam TV as well as Trickstar Radio via the old DAB, and it's going to be a very enjoyable day. I am looking forward to this a lot. Out to everyone locked in this morning. Opium are in the building. How are we doing, sir?
Hello, mate. Yeah, great to be here. I've actually been binge watching your podcast back on SoundCloud quite a bit, so yeah, cheers for having me on. It's great.
Lovely. That's good to hear, man. So thank you for the support, man. I've got to say, I have been seeing you pop up on a lot of the videos, basically saying big up, and obviously when people see Opium commenting on videos, it kind of encourages more people to get involved. So I want to say thank you for your support.
Yeah, man, I rate what you're doing here. I think there's definitely a gap for a podcast in the scene, so yeah, that's great. Always going to give my support to that, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, I mean, we've got a fantastic chat on the way. I'm looking forward to this a lot. It's definitely one of the shows I've been looking forward to since it was booked in, purely because it's quite an interesting angle, I feel. It's quite a unique position you find yourself in. So, kind of, to those that aren't aware, because I know we tend to have quite like a mixed kind of audience in these shows, because obviously we try to mix it up and have two completely like opposite guests on every single day. With yourself, how would you describe what Opium is as a platform?
Yeah, I guess when I describe it to other people, I call it a music promotion network of sorts. I guess just a bass music promotion platform, because we started off with the YouTube channel, and now we sort of have the SoundCloud where we do free download releases as well. And we got the Instagram, and we're always sort of like posting stuff on there, releasing new bits, promoting bits from other labels on the YouTube, obviously, as well. So I guess it's just a promotion network, if you can call it that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man. So kind of, when did you first get the kind of inkling that this was like something that you were interested in doing?
Probably around, I got into bass music around 2013, 2014, the current scene anyway. Before that, I was a typical teenager listening to a lot of dubstep and stuff like that. And then I sort of found, I was listening to a lot of Inspected YouTube channel back then, which is probably one of the main inspirations, to be honest.
Okay,
that's
cool.
where I found like My New Leng, The Grid, that tune, and that sort of got me into that whole bass house, Jack in the House kind of scene that was around then. Started finding Tumble Audio, bits like that were popping off around like 2013, 14 and coming up. And then when like Flavor D released like In The Dance EP and stuff like that, that's when I thought, okay, there's definitely like a scene coming up here, and I couldn't find much more of the bass tunes I wanted to on YouTube back then. So I sort of went hunting, and it sort of just started by me chucking up a few tunes on the YouTube channel that I kind of wanted to save for myself and share to other people, really.
Nice.
It's just a casual thing at first, yeah.
Sick, bro. So with that then, you've kind of found yourself in a position now where, well, realistically, there aren't that many sort of platforms on YouTube that are dedicated to UK bass music, really. There's a couple, obviously. There's Deep Prot, there's the 3000 YouTube channel, there's I'm assuming UKF kind of fall into that bracket, but they're quite varied in the stuff they put up. So you do kind of find yourself in quite like a unique position, I feel.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I never went out to fill a niche in the market, but that is kind of the reason why it came to what it was, because I couldn't find a YouTube, because I used to find all my music through YouTube, man, like back in the day when I was a kid. That's just UKF, that was the one, obviously, then Inspected. So I just thought, if I chuck a few tunes up on my YouTube, just give it a name, and then like at least that way I can share it with my mates and stuff who were quite into that when I was at uni around 2014, 15, and then at least that's something. But then it was sort of like that for a year, I guess, just basically casually putting up tunes that I liked, and then started getting submissions around 2016, and that's sort of when I tried to take it a bit more seriously, really, from there. Yeah, and my first submission, I think, was from Fraser back in 2016 that I actually put up, and obviously he's gone on to do some mad stuff. So yeah, it's been great to see the progress.
Definitely, man. It's been awesome to watch as well, obviously, because myself, I've been kind of monitoring what's been going on since around sort of 2010, 2011. I remember seeing Opium kind of first starting up, and I've got to say the consistency since that first sort of early period of growth where it started to kind of take off and you started to really kind of make your mark on what was going on. Like that level of consistency must be quite difficult to maintain.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was at uni at the time, and I just used to make it part of my daily routine when I got back from uni, just to put up a track. Like, I sort of felt. This is one that once it became like serious and I was getting submissions, I was thinking, I need to put up a track every day now. Like, I want this to grow. There's obviously a gap for this kind of YouTube channel. I think I can actually like make a difference to the scene a bit here and like push the music that I'm really passionate about. So yeah, it was really just something I enjoy doing at the end of the day. So
yeah, no, I feel that. Man. I'm glad
it. Yeah,
but yeah, it's sick to see the growth, and obviously kind of looking for it from a consumer's perspective, as I was saying, because there aren't that many places. It does feel like it feels like Opium. There is kind of like not a specific sound, but there's quite a specific vibe, I feel, to a lot of the stuff that goes up on Opium.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, actually, because sometimes I do wonder whether, because I pull tunes nowadays from all kinds of corners of bass music, anything between like 120 to 140 really, but I do try and keep that sort of club ready, darker vibe sort of consistent throughout, that sort of represents the UK bass scene over the years. So I'm glad you said that. Definitely,
man. I think it's something that's very, very apparent when you dive into the catalogue and just look through. I feel there's, as you said, there's a very kind of expressive kind of UK bass theme to what's going on, and I just think it's an interesting kind of position. Like, over the years then, obviously, with setting up this channel, what would you say the main kind of difference is between now and, say, the first sort of year? What's like the main thing that you find that is a completely different process?
Oh, well, I'd say YouTube as a whole is not as, particularly for music and other things. I mean, in general, it's not been great to its users. So I see the scene moving away from YouTube in a lot of ways, whereas that used to be like where a lot of kind of electronic music was found. And I guess that's why we've had the SoundCloud. And I guess if I'm honest with you, I would have felt like the growth on YouTube should have been more, given the consistency, than it is now. But I think that's a problem with YouTube that a lot of creators on the platform do find. And apart from that, changes in the scene, obviously musically, have meant that I've looked more into the bass house corner and different labels that I didn't originally look at when I was originally putting up a lot more darker garage and grimy kind of stuff, as that sort of fell out of favour. So yeah, I guess it's just growing and adapting with what the platforms are doing and what people are into musically. But it's all been good. Nice, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with Opium, I mean, I'm talking about it as though it's just a YouTube channel. Obviously, you are active on other networks as well.
Yeah, so the SoundCloud, which I set up, I don't know when I sent out the SoundCloud, probably in like 2017, to be honest, when I realised that, I wanted to actually start pushing out my own sort of exclusive releases on Opium. So I guess you can't say we're a fully fledged label because we only do free downloads, but I wanted to get, and it seems like the SoundCloud gets a bit more attention per track generally nowadays. I know people have their issues with SoundCloud, but I think especially in recent years, that's definitely been the place I've looked to find new music that I just want to listen to. So yeah, that's that really.
Definitely, bro. I feel that, and I definitely think with I mean, we're now in a funny place, aren't we, kind of music wise, because I don't really know, because Spotify is obviously fine. I just don't find it a very good tool for actually discovering music the same way that SoundCloud was for discovering music. I feel with Spotify, to an extent, you kind of get given what you're told, I suppose, rather than actually having that ability to kind of go and actually surf and go and actually look at what other people are feeling and that repost kind of vibe. I feel it's actually quite difficult to discover like music you wouldn't have heard otherwise through Spotify.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know if a lot of people are like this as well, but I use Spotify to add stuff that I found elsewhere onto a playlist and listen to it that way. Like, when it comes to finding tunes, like labels on Spotify isn't so much of a thing, is it? Like on SoundCloud, you can go to like 877 Records, or for example, I used to always go to find some new tunes on there, Tumble Audio. I mean, on Spotify, yeah, you've got a lot of curated playlists by artists and stuff, which are cool, but they're more of a supplement to what you already know. They're not. Yeah, I agree with you there, mate.
Yeah, it's an unusual one, and I think that's what makes this whole thing quite interesting, to be honest with you. And what we're going to do, we're going to dive into one of the tunes you've sent over. Now, what the interesting thing about this is he's actually in the chat. So, Dynascope, this one going by the name of Human. Talk to me about this tune.
Yeah, Dynascope. So he's had some pretty big releases on 3000 bass recently, and I've seen him like sort of coming up in the scene. And this is quite a typical sort of upfront UK bass tune that I think will pop off really. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, we're going to get into this one now. We are live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. Thank you to everyone joining us this morning. I can see how many of you are locked in and how many likes the video have. If we can make that number even and all of you go and like the video this second, it'd make my life a lot easier moving forward. We're live on the line with Opium. It's Brekky in the Cave. Don't go anywhere. This one, Dynascope with Human.
Oh, now why shouldn't I make you my whatever it was like you said, a human being? Like you said, a human being.
What's going on, people? It's Razor. You're live and direct, locked into the waviest breakfast on the airway. Man like KXVU. Bag that.
Right then, my friends, we are live inside the building. That one coming from Dynascope, track entitled Human. Bass heavy business this morning here on Cubcam TV for Brekky in the Cave. And Opium are on the line. I'm really looking forward to this. I have been looking forward to this one purely because I want to pick your brains a little bit in regards to the old YouTubery. Again, thank you for jumping on the platform. So what we're going to be looking at here is I want to kind of find some do's and don'ts for YouTube. I want to kind of find for yourself like what are the biggest do's and don'ts you've kind of worked out over the last sort of 3 or 4 years?
I guess do understand your audience, if that makes sense. If you're making a channel that's curated to a specific scene of music, it's great to have that passion about music, but if the audience are not liking certain vibes you're putting out, try and go with that, and consistency as well is probably another one. Inconsistency. I remember I had a few months where I literally couldn't upload, and it did set the channel back a bit. I guess don't be inconsistent, or do be consistent would be one as well, yeah. Okay,
cool. Well, I mean, when you're talking consistency, are you talking kind of quality of tune, or are you talking like making sure the uploads are all crisp, or like what do you mean by consistency?
Yeah, so consistency of uploading was what I was referring to in terms of like uploading it as frequently as you can, in terms of like on a daily or every other day basis. But also the quality of tunes is also important. I mean, with my channel, obviously it's about getting sort of pretty much people who are brand new to the scene a platform, so the amazing mixing quality isn't necessarily going to always be there, but it's also making sure you don't just pick something that's been made on FL Studio in half an hour, for example. You want to really push people that are like, getting involved in the scene in a good way, have obviously got talent that hasn't been heard yet, and I think that's what it's all about, really. So yeah, so consistency in both aspects in that regard is definitely important.
Definitely, I agree with that. And I think it's interesting hearing it from yourself, because obviously, as you said, you're someone who has kind of grown a platform and had that period of time where you kind of weren't able to upload, and you recognised immediately that it did kind of affect the kind of growth of the channel. How did you find getting that motion kind of back into action when you were able to return to uploading? Sorry.
Uploaded, yeah, sure, yeah. I can't remember why I had to go on the hiatus for now. I think it's because I didn't have internet for a couple of months when I moved house. But yeah, I was kind of lucky that the second I got back on it, I had an audience there that obviously was sort of still interested, and they were happy to be back. Happy for me to be back, rather. And I'm back listening to the tunes. But so yeah, I was quite lucky in that aspect. Obviously, people were still keen to hear the new UK bass music that I was pushing, and it was quite humbling really to have that. I guess when you get back on it, you just got to really be very consistent from the off again, get tunes up every day so people know, right, it's back up again, the tunes are flowing through, it's all good.
Definitely. Really. So far with the growth then, would you say this is where you kind of once you started to realize there was growth in the project, you know what I mean? Is this where you kind of imagined you would be, or do you think it would be this far along or not as far?
When I first started, obviously, I would have loved it to be this far along. The longer I've gone on, then the more I've been, over the years, always consistently put stuff in. I would be lying to say I wouldn't want a bit more out of it, just because where YouTube isn't great at exposing what you have on there these days. I mean, you upload all the time and only a small percentage of your audience end up seeing it. And like I said before, a lot of creators on YouTube have that problem. But I'm really happy with the growth of the SoundCloud and the releases, actually. With the most popular release, I think it's like 70k streams now, so that's really good. So overall, I'm happy, and I've got like plans to go even further in future, so I can't complain overall, really.
Nice, man. I mean, you've touched briefly there on growing the platform into actually releasing music as well, rather than just being more kind of YouTube Premiere platform, if you know what I mean. Like how have you found that transition from channel into record label, essentially?
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a natural process for me, because I was getting sent a lot of tunes that they weren't signed or anything anyway. They were just tunes that people had, and they were putting up on their own SoundCloud. So obviously I started giving people the opportunity to have them on the Opium SoundCloud page with like a bit of custom artwork and stuff, you know, get their face on there as well, which I thought was important, so we could see, you know, a face behind the people who are making the music, and start giving them a bit of actual artist recognition that they wouldn't have otherwise have got. So I found that people felt really up for that. I just asked people, do you want to make this a free download on the page? And now obviously I get people specifically asking that all the time, whereas otherwise it might be going up on their SoundCloud page that has maybe like 50 followers, for example, and never really get as much exposure when it's just on the YouTube channel from there. So yeah, it's been quite good. It's added a little bit more to my workload, but nothing I wouldn't shy away from. It's all good stuff for me, really.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear, man. I mean, kind of with your approach then, how have you? Because I'm assuming you pretty much run this from quite solo in it, by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I run this completely by myself, mate, and always have done. So yeah,
I mean that's
only me.
That's an absolute madness. Because I mean, a lot of YouTube channels are quite solo projects, if you know what I mean. But I feel the amount of time it must take to basically run all of those platforms yourself. Like, how do you find the time?
Yeah, people do ask me this, actually. I remember last year was probably the busiest year of my life, where I was doing a full-time master's degree, working a 30-hour-a-week job and running Opium. But to be fair, mate, I kind of just like keeping busy, if I'm honest with you. Like, as long as I'm doing stuff and working towards stuff, I'm kind of happy. So it's just, I find the time, and it kind of, yeah, I've gotten such sort of habits over the years of replying to emails and sort of knowing what tunes I want to upload quite quickly while going through demos to them. It's all sort of just part of my day-to-day now, really. And obviously, if I'm going to expand and do events and stuff, which I did plan to earlier in the year, I was going to take on other people or work with other labels, which I'm still keen to do. So I'll expand out from just me if I go further. But yeah, at the moment, it kind of works.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the thing. From the outside, you wouldn't be able to tell it's literally one person running it. It looks like there's a very sufficient team of people getting involved. So hats up. If I had a hat on, I'd take it off. So hats off to you.
Cheers, man.
It's just sick to see, man. I love seeing people do. I love seeing people do things well. You know, it's from the kind of angle I look at everything from this sort of side music journalism, radio-y kind of approach. I love talking to people who tend to, who it seems at least really love what they do and do it well at the same time. I think it's a killer combo. So kind of moving forward then, we're going to jump into another banger, because I want to make sure we get all three of these in. This one coming to us from I believe an artist called Sound of Ghetto, going by the name of I Keep It Dope. So talk to me about this tune.
So Sound of Ghetto is a completely new producer. I believe he's a Polish producer who just emailed this to me, and I really like this one because it's got sort of that old sort of G-house, Jack in House kind of vibe, but with sort of that dark, gritty UK bassness to it that's popular at the moment, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I really like this one, and it's just a different flavour to the upfront UK bass stuff that's coming out that I think people enjoy, really.
Definitely, bro, definitely. Let's get into it then. Don't go anywhere, guys. Make sure you keep it locked. We're live on Cubcam TV and Trickstar Radio via the DAB. Make sure you are throwing a subscription on the channel if you are new. There's plenty more still to come. Yeah, throw a like on the video as well. I can see how many of you are watching. Throw a like on the video. Do me a favour. Keep it locked. Brekky In The Cave. We've got a fantastic guest joining us this morning. As I said before, throw a damn like on the video. Do me a favour. Come on, we're providing priceless entertainment for you guys this morning. Throw a like on the video. Make sure, validate my life. Anyway, let's crack on. Opium are on the line. We're going to be talking through next the kind of future plans then, because obviously you're active on a lot of different social media platforms now. You're on SoundCloud. You're getting involved with Spotify as well. The channel is continuing to grow in regards to the YouTube side of things. So like, what's the next plan for Opium?
So my main plan, which was originally meant to come to fruition in January or February, was events under the Opium name, working with brands either in Bristol or Leeds. Yeah, but unfortunately that couldn't come to fruition due to some personal reasons, and then obviously the whole lockdown thing has set that back even further. But once nightlife sort of kicks off again, I'm hoping to get some events going in one of those two cities where I know I've got quite a few links, and I know there's quite a good Opium fan base. Yeah, and apart from that, really, it's just getting more releases out there. Yeah, just growing the channels further, really, doing what I do, getting probably some more mixes out there as well. I want to start a new mix series soon as well. So yeah, look out for all that, really. Nice, man.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the growth more than anything else, purely because it all sounds very exciting. I'm going to run through a couple of the comments. Out to Dynascope saying, thanks Opium and Cubcam TV for playing my tune Human. No trouble at all, sir. It's a banger. Keep them coming. Out to Max Biddlescombe, my good friend, man like TVU, saying, I never knew it was operated solo. That's real commitment right there. I agree. It's blown me away as well. I'm surprised. Out to WT4Y saying, my label's just been accepted into 2 repost network players, apparently, except they didn't even say which ones, but that's some good news. Okay, fair enough. Nice one, WT4Y. I hope that goes well for you. Let's kind of move forward then with yourself. So obviously just staying busy seems to be the general vibe for yourself.
Yeah, man. I also do this in terms of my actual career. Like, I research electronic music as well, so as well as running a label, so all of that just keeps me busy. It all sort of free flows into each other as my passion and my work life. So yeah, I'm going to keep busy with Opium. And yeah, hopefully more good stuff coming soon.
There we go. I mean, a couple of random questions then. Have you ever used kind of Opium in a case study for like the researching of electronic music?
I I've used it. I have used it in my master's research. Yeah. In terms of sending out emails and getting people. I don't know if people know about this because I posted about it back last year. It was a project on electronic music and well-being. So basically seeing what psychological benefits there were from attending raves and stuff. And a lot of people who follow Opium got involved in that, which was really great to see. So yeah.
Nice, man. I remember seeing the article, but I didn't remember who it was from. So that was your article.
Yeah, it was a project I was doing. I'm still writing up the article, so I'm not sure if you saw a different article or something. But yeah, that's the research I was doing basically on ravers.
I remember seeing something pop up on my social feeds, which was basically along the lines of well-being and dance music and being in a rave. Yeah, I remember seeing something like that. So there we go. That's wicked then. I mean, kind of. We've only got a couple of minutes left, so we've got one more banger to play. But I want to squeeze as much information out of you as possible. One tip for maintaining brand consistency. What would you say it is?
Brand consistency. I think what you said before about making sure there's a certain vibe that runs through the music you're putting up. I mean, if you're a music brand, you want to these days people connect more with certain vibes and emotions than they do with a specific one genre, for example. And also, I guess the sort of general artwork and branding that runs through. Mine's quite focused on like dark corners of nightclubs and things like that. So yeah, just keeping that brand consistency within the music and within sort of the artwork that you're promoting it through here.
There we go. Okay, wicked, man. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. Thank you for being a part of the second to last ever Brekky In The Cave. Yeah, we'll speak soon, obviously, and we're going to play one more banger before we do finish up, which comes from Inverse. This one goes by the name of Blue, so talk me through this one.
Yeah, so this is our latest release. Inverse is a great producer. He's had some good releases on Gas recently and some other labels. I definitely think he's one to watch. He's got some great sound design. This is a more dark sort of less upfront bass tune, but this is a really sick vibe, yeah.
Wicked, man. Well, it's a perfect way to round this off then by the sound of things. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a little quick chat on the phone in just a second. So keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. It's Brekky In The Cave, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, I knew, mate. It's been great. Thanks for that.
On
bitch. Launch up my guy, come KXVU.
Right then, my friends, we're back inside the building. How are we doing this morning? It's Brekky in the Cave. Massive shouts out to Opium for the last half an hour. Really interesting interview that if you are in the process of running a YouTube channel and trying to build a bit of a following, really a few words of very useful advice in there. So, moving on to our second guest of the day. I've been looking forward to this one for a hot minute. Man like Joe Fire is in the building. How are we doing, sir?
What's going on, bro? Good morning.
How are you? How are you finding this? Is it warm out? I don't know. I haven't even looked outside yet.
You know what? Yeah, it looks kind of warm still out there. I ain't stepped out, but yeah, it feels like it's going to be a nice day today still.
Nice one, man. Well, that's good to hear. It's a good way to start the day off, and it's good to have you on the show, man. I mean, we've had this one in the diary for about a month or so. So I've been kind of looking into what you've been doing and getting kind of rough idea. So what I want to kind of do is kind of go back to the beginning, to begin with, of course, with yourself, and kind of get a kind of understanding for your sound and where it kind of comes from as an artist. So what was the first kind of thing that drew you in to essentially being a vocalist?
Boy, it was a long time ago. Probably like I reckon it would be like hip hop in the early 90s, to tell you the truth, like Bone Thugs and Harmony and Tupac when he was still alive, and Snoop and all that type of stuff. When I was little, I used to like record their things and then just learn the bars and then try and like record myself for a next radio spitting on top of their bars and all of that. So yeah, I was always interested in hearing myself rapping, but I just didn't have no bars. I was just little worm times. Then garage days, I was on it from then, MCing, doing grime, all of that. And then yeah, I went into hip hop. I don't know if you remember, but we had it, we met each other years ago, years ago. Through E&D. We've definitely met before. You know what it is? It's one of those ones where I feel that that old school kind of battle scenario, I really struggle to remember all those days, because I won't lie, I was hammered for a large majority of the time. There was a lot of faces and it was a very drunk environment.
Yeah, very, very waved, bro, all the time. I mean, kind of with that then, like between the space, just so I can get a kind of like understanding time-wise, out to Tia in the chat, by the way, good to see you this morning, kind of just so I can understand the kind of layout of things, like in regards to you kind of starting and that sort of E&D kind of period, like what was the kind of phase in between that like?
In between it, from the beginning,
yeah,
or from then to now?
So from the beginning up until that sort of E&D kind of phase where we first were introduced to each other.
Well, basically, I was just like, I did a lot of music when I was younger. Like I was in crews and stuff, and I was MCing with a lot of people from my local area, Camden. I was in a crew called Hoodfellas, and yeah, we were just putting out a lot of videos. We put out a couple videos on Channel U days. I put out a couple solo videos as well, so I was doing that, and that was mostly grime, because I always was a big fan of grime and I love grime. But when the grime took a little bit of a dive, it was hard for me to get access to the beats that I wanted to get, because the producers that I had stopped making them. And at them days there, it wasn't really a jump on the next man's beat and do your thing type of days when it comes down to UK music. You could jump on a American rapper's beat and do your thing and nobody would say nothing, but you can't really take a next English man's beat and do your version on it. So if you haven't got access to the beats you want, you have to just work with what you have in it.
Yeah, of course. No, I feel that, man. I remember kind of looking back in those earlier days as well. I remember so many people were ripping instrumentals off YouTube and putting out the vocals like that. That was just like the thing that people did, to be fair.
Yeah, but it wasn't really something that you could do within like the grime or like UK music type of thing.
Yeah,
you could take the American and do your spin on it, but it was, so I ended up rapping a lot more, because the beats I was getting from the producers that I had access to was making rap music, so I was rapping a lot more. And I met Josiah Matrix a couple of years ago. We was both doing the same job. We had a little stint doing a little 9-to-5 work, and yeah, we had the same job, met him. We both got the same name, so cause we're both called Josiah, so that made us both link up straight away. And then yeah, from then we was just like rapping a lot together. Then Ian Daniels thing, basically he just told me come. He goes, yeah, come, what was it? It was I think it was Logic had a launch party in King's Cross, and he told me just to come along. And I'm the type of person where if I like the vibe, I'll just grab the mic and start rapping. I don't care if I'm booked or not. At them days, definitely, I didn't care if I was booked or not. I'll just jump on the stage and start rapping. So
of course,
I kind of just did that, jumped on the stage, started rapping. met Furtz. Furtz was like, you got to come studio. I went studio the next day, and the tracks that we made ended up being on the Ian Daniels album.
Wow.
So it was just literally straight in like that.
I like that, man. That's so very kind of organic in the way it's come together. Then it's not like we need to do like working out who you're going to link up with. It's literally just the people who are around you, and then next thing you know, you're in a studio scenario and you're banging tunes together.
Yeah, literally. And then like everybody's good people, good clean-hearted people. So we all had good intentions for each other. So it was easy for it to like just naturally gel. We had a lot of good times in that spell, that couple of years. And then I don't even think Ian Daniels ended it. Everything just kind of quieted down. You know, certain people had kids and real life started getting on top of people, and you know, everybody's got to do what they have to do. So the music kind of took the back foot.
Yeah, no, I feel that, and a kind of interesting angle on this as well is obviously I was very much involved with the more sort of battle community at this time rather than the kind of I want to say more rap community, shall we say? And that was kind of like my angle on a lot of things was from that sort of side of things. So so Ian Daniels to me was always it was kind of like a crew that had both battle rappers and rappers involved. Did you ever think to kind of go, you know what, I fancy stepping in the ring?
You know what? I did feel like it sometimes, but then, see with me, yeah, I kind of like to do my music, yeah, and don't have to hear about it when I ain't doing it.
Okay.
So it's all the forums and the blogging and all of that stuff and all the social media stuff is the type of stuff that I wasn't really up for. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So I was kind of like, I didn't really know, and I didn't really know if I could be bothered. And to tell you the truth, it was like, no disrespect on it, because I love battle rap. But me, myself, I just find it a bit hard to sit in my house and take time thinking about writing about another man.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Day.
Yeah, I feel that. It's I'll tell you the truth. It's a very time-consuming process as well, because it's not like it's not like it's a scenario where you can kind of learn your bars by like practicing, like not even practicing, but going radio and going over sets and kind of getting them tight and then going studio and recording them. You're literally you're rehearsing them for a one-off basis.
Yeah, you have to care as well, because there's research you have to do in man's Facebook and looking back and all of that. I just thought, like, I know myself, I'm not going to do that. So before I go and stand up in front of somebody and just try and tell them about what they look like, and they're trying to pick me apart with what I can't be bothered for all of it. So, but I was really up for doing an on-beat one, but then I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's always very situational. I feel with clashing, especially. I think it's something that you have to kind of be in the right frame of mind when you're asked a lot of the time for it to happen.
Yeah. I feel like I couldn't see myself having a friendly, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself having a friendly, because if I was going to clash somebody, I want to go hard. So, and there isn't really nobody I dislike, to tell you the truth. Like, I don't really look at what I don't really like, so I don't really dislike anything. I just look at what I like. So
of course.
So yeah, like that. It's
an interesting one to kind of break down. Okay, cool. So from there, then obviously you're involved with Ian Daniels from the more sort of rap side. You're making a lot of music. Like with those times, then, like, I mean, I'm assuming you look back on those sort of times there where you're in that more sort of again a crew environment. You're in going to a lot of events, a lot of kind of I'm assuming a lot of like shows as well. Like, how would you kind of look back and describe that sort of time period?
You know what? It was just fun, man. It was just fun. Busy. Like, there was always something going on. So we just had a group page, and it's like there would just be things popping up. And now we got to go Brighton, or we got to go Nottingham, or we got to go this, or this man's battling, or this man's battling, this man's battling. And it was just a big drunken haze, to tell you the truth. It was just like, before you get a chance to recover, you're back out drinking again. So yeah, man, it was 6 times, man. Proper good times.
Good times, man. I mean, that sort of time period there. Obviously, we weren't necessarily like speaking that often at that sort of period of time. But I remember just the sort of vibe that I was kind of getting from a lot of those events that I was going to was just it was like a Saturday daytime. It was literally just day drinking inside a club or a pub, watching people shout at each other. I absolutely loved it. It's it's something I've got a smile on my face talking about it now. Pretty much that's the kind of way of looking at it. So kind of like fast forwarding it then to, well, not even fast forwarding. So what kind of happens for yourself then when that sort of Ian Daniels movement starts to not break, not kind of stop, but sort of slow down and kind of move more into the background of what's going on?
I carried on putting out music. Like, I just carried on putting out music. But the thing is with me, what my problem has been is I'm not very patient. So I'll make like a sick body of work, but then don't get it mixed down to the highest quality. Just get frustrated with sitting on it and throw it out. And then afterwards, not really give it the full push because I'm like, So I've done a lot of that. So I was just making a lot of music, just throwing it out as it comes. And then I did a couple of videos. I put a video on Grime Daily a couple of years ago with Tints. I basically was one of them guys. I'll do a video every year, but I have music dropping in and out for like everybody who knows me. But I put a video out every year and a half. So it's like I'm restarting my career. Every single time I'll put out something because if they never caught on to the first one, they wouldn't know me by the second one. So,
yeah. I feel that.
So I was just doing a lot of that really, and then I was just floating around. I got invited to come to a radio station at Mode FM, a couple of years back by one of my friends, Tiny. He said to me, "Yo, just come. There's a set, one of my friend's birthday sets." So I've gone down there with Tints, and we just did the thing. And from then, we obviously we mashed up the set and all of that. The people was a little bit like, "Who's these guys?" So we got called back by a couple of the MCs on the set, and a couple of MCs we heard, they just kept on calling us back to sets. So
yeah, man. I mean, it's again, that's very kind of reminiscent of those sort of earlier sort of days in grime as well. Obviously, going radio, and that's how you kind of make your contacts to it.
Literally, it's like I went full circle. It's like I went all the way back to how I started again. So we had a little cut there.
Yeah. I'm still up. There we go. Yes. No, I was just waiting for you for you to finish. So there we go. One thing on regards to, obviously you've just spoken about about going down to radio and kind of getting involved with that thing. I've had a question in from Rack J, who wants to say, he says, can you ask Joe to get him and Blacklight Tints, which is Tints' Twitter out, I believe, to do some Flirter and Van Damage-esque combo tunes? That would be a lot.
Big up Flirter's family. Yeah, like we've got a couple. We've got a couple in the pipeline still. We've got a lot of music together that is just ready to go. But it's just a case of really like both of us just Tints wants to put out some of his music. You know what I mean? Some of his solo music, and I wanted to put out some of his solo music as well, so people can really hear how much of a serious artist he is. Everybody's very, very, very well aware of how good he is as an MC and how much he destroys sets and all this, but I know him as a serious artist. I know the concepts, I know the depth of his bars. So I think we need to just get some of his music out so people can understand that, and then we can hit them up with the duo stuff as like a treat, basically.
Yeah, man, that works. I mean, what we're going to do is we're gonna jump. We've got a couple of tunes to run today, which I'm really looking forward to getting into. The first of which comes from yourself and Manga Saint Hilaire, going by the name of Overnight. So, talk to me about this one. How did it come together? First of all,
do you know what? Yeah, I have to big up Manga for this one because he's just he's a real good brother. He just supports what he thinks is good, and it doesn't really matter about numbers or where you are in the scene. So it's literally like I put a tweet saying, "Yo, I'd love to do a tune with Manga Saint Hilaire car. He's from Northwest. I think he's sick." Boom, boom, boom. And then he just said, "Anytime, bro." And me and him never had words, never spoke, never said nothing to each other before that. He said to me, "Yeah, anytime." But I said, "All right, cool, sick, say no more." Jake Bob had a beat for me. So he sent me the beat over. He goes to me, "Yo, yeah, listen, all right, boom, these beats, da-da-da-da." I said, "All right, cool, I'll listen to some of them." I said, "All right, I want this one." And it was one he made with Spooky. So he goes, "Cool." I sent it over to Manga, did his verse. Natural like that, just put it out. And
fire.
That was it, really.
And it's as simple as that.
Simple as that, literally. And it's like, as I say, I have to thank him because literally he must have just been seeing the work I was doing, and he didn't feel no way to support. And a lot of the guys who've been in the game from way back, a lot of the originals, they don't reach out. There's a good couple of men who do. I have to salute them, man. I have to big up man like Sharky. I have to big up man like Nasty Jack. I have to big up man like Hitman Tigger. I have to big up man like Tiatsin. I have to big up man like Select the Impact. I have to big up man like J Beats, Treble Clef. Anybody I missed out, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of guys, but there's a lot of guys as well who try to turn a blind eye in it.
Yeah.
So for Manga to just jump out of the box and say to me, "Yeah, do a tune with me," without even meeting me before or anything, I really rate him for that because it helped me a lot.
Yeah, man, definitely, and it's a wicked attitude to kind of come across. I feel as well when you are kind of in that process of trying to build the brand up and build your name up as well. When you kind of get that almost like it's almost like a cosign to an extent of kind of going,
it's definitely a cosign. It's definitely a cosign. The thing is, it's not expected either, as I say, because I came into the grime scene not having any really door openers around me. So we said, like, obviously I'd done little bits and pieces before and I had a couple accolades that I could have came and said, I've done this, I've done that, but I didn't do that. I said, let me just go back to the beginning and I'm just going to work myself right from the beginning up and just do it naturally like that. So
nice. Well, there we go.
Anybody who's embracing me, I really do appreciate it right now. It's been a lot of graft that we've been putting in for the last couple of years, me and Tints.
Nice, man. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting into this one then. This one comes from yourself and Manga Saint Hilaire, produced by Jake Bob and Spooky, going by the name of Overnight. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Brekky in the Cave. Joe Fire is on the line. Oh, yes.
Rhythm, I'm fire on style fresh, but I'm old school like Viacom. Get a superstar like Maya Song. Me and them boy can't die along. Back in the day, they be the type I would try and rob. They won't cancel me, block me. I open the door like I got the fob. You should call me Dragon, come and a man's fly and fire comes out my gob. Everything blacked out like a goth. Fly from the dirt just like a moth. I bring the heat, let the gas hop. You can't handle the heat like a Dutch pop. I'm like a network provider where you ain't paid your bill. I make a connection cut off. I put in effort to get this good. Levels like this didn't come overnight. It took work for me to get booked. Now you might see me catching a fly. I'm a captain, I'm nice with a hook. Come to a murk, everything on site. Your wifey, give me that look. She wants to come stay round overnight. I put in effort to get this good. Levels like this didn't come overnight. It took work for me to get booked. Now you might see me catching a fly. I'm a captain, I'm nice with a hook. Come to a murk, everything on site. Your wifey, give me that look. She wants to come stay round overnight.
Yo. A lot of days, a lot of years, I've done a lot of shows.
Bag of shows.
A lot of pain, shed a lot of tears, I heard a lot of no's.
A bag of no's.
A lot of fake, showed a lot of love, I had a lot of foes.
Had a bag of foes, man.
Enjoyed the ups and firmed the downs, I had a lot of those.
But we moved.
Spoke it into existence till it came true. Started with a mic check, 1, 2, now I get a mic check, 1, then 2.
Money.
My work speaks for itself, a lot of these bands' work rate is on mute. Heard the new thing, I'm not convinced. Furthermore, I'm just more confused.
I put in effort to get this good. Levels like this didn't come overnight. It took work for me to get booked. Now you might see me catching a fly. I'm a captain, I'm nice with a hook. Come to a murk, everything on site. Your wifey, give me that look. She wants to come stay round overnight. I put in effort to get this good. Levels like this didn't come overnight. It took work for me to get booked. Now you might see me catching a fly. I'm a captain, I'm nice with a hook. Come to a murk, everything on site. Your wifey, give me that look. She wants to come stay round overnight. I flow stingy tight. You spin me, you're not thinking right. You should do you, go and live your life. Don't watch me, cause shine too bright. So you might end up blind. I've been doing this thing for a long time. Not a new MC with one rhyme. I can kill an MC with one line, or there are fair shots like gun crime. W have to only a team one time. I ain't in a fighting and wrestling guys, but I'm good with a weaponry like mankind. Man a man grind, man shine. Man ain't got wings, but man a man's flying. I and I find doing I. Every 16 come roar like lion. I put in effort to get this good. Levels like this didn't come overnight. It took work for me to get booked. Now you might see me catching a fly. I'm a captain, I'm nice with a hook. Come to a murk, everything on site. Your wifey, give me that look. She wants to come stay round overnight. I put in effort to get this good. Levels like this didn't come overnight. It took work for me to get booked. Now you might see me catching a fly. I'm a captain, I'm nice with a hook. Come to a murk, everything on site. Your wifey, give me that look. She wants to come stay round overnight.
Right then, my friends, we're back inside the building. Out to man like Tints locking in, saying very, very good conversation, but a very good show altogether. Still locked in, and 4 100 emojis. So that's 400. Thank you, sir. Let's kind of crack on then. Joe Fire is on the line. It's been a good one so far. Let's kind of look to the future then. So obviously, with yourself, it seems like you're in a position now where you've kind of like got yourself set. You're kind of in a kind of work mode sort of scenario, and you are kind of putting together a lot of new music. It sounds like you're excited to get back into the studio.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm quite lucky because I've got my own home set up. So through the lockdown, I haven't actually stopped. I haven't stopped at all. I actually just been grafting, finishing off a lot of bits that I've needed to get finished. And yeah, man, working on mixing down and mastering, really. That's what I've been focusing on, learning how to improve that.
Nice. So more kind of learning the techie side as much as anything. So
learning the techie side, yeah.
I mean, is there any reason for you doing that? Is it to kind of get kind of past that annoying ache of having to wait on engineers?
Do you know where it is? Yeah, I just like to know how to do everything, like to do with music. That's all it is. I proper have a lot of interest. It's like, for me, I don't just MC. I want to do everything to do with music, because really and truly for me, it's a lifestyle. I'm trying to be involved in music for my whole life. So I need to be able to do things for myself. Don't necessarily mean that I won't go outside and, like, I've got my producer, Rapid Artists, and the Phonics. These guys, they are like the best. They're my engineers. They're the ones who engineered all overnight and all that stuff. So I'll go to them, but I need to be able to do things myself. Because if I decide that I want to make a tune at 3 o'clock in the morning and I want it out by 7, I need to be able to do it. So, yeah, man. And YouTube's a world of education, so there's no point in not taking it in if it's there, just readily available for free. Well, like, it wouldn't make... So before I go and watch something, a TV program or something, I just watch educational videos.
Yeah, that's sick though. I think that's quite a refreshing attitude as well, because I think once you start to take that knowledge in, and you start to kind of have it, I mean, it's only a matter of time from doing that you are then able to pretty much make the transition to being completely kind of solo in the way you kind of build your stuff.
Yeah. Most definitely.
I mean, how have you found that kind of through lockdown then? Have you found it's really not hindered you at all in regards to kind of productivity?
Not at all. It hasn't at all. The only thing which is hindered is I had quite a lot of good bookings that got cancelled that I was proper looking forward to. Like, I was booked for Grime Originals. It's been rescheduled, but yeah, I was looking forward for that. I had a couple next big ones that I was looking forward to, and it's just the live aspects, going in radio and the socialising aspect of it, really. Because I'm a family man myself. I go out to do music. Apart from that, I'm here with my family, so that's my playing out time, if you would call it that. Yeah. So that's when I get to go and see all the man there, man, have a little drink and, you know what I mean, whatever. So in that I miss. But really, apart from that, music-wise, it's probably helped me, because I'll be running around doing radio 7 days a week and I won't make 7 tunes a week because of it. So I've been loading up.
Nice, man. Yeah, I mean, it's sick to see, and to be honest, it just makes me excited for the kind of run that you're on. Obviously, we're seeing you kind of pop up a fair bit, and obviously one section I wanted to talk about today was those sort of tunes that you've got on the way. So would you say you're in a position now from home where you can kind of get something done completely ready to go?
Yeah, most definitely.
Sick.
Most definitely.
That's what I love to hear.
The song I just released recently, Been There, I put out a video, Been There with Filthy Gears. That's all done from here, mixed and mastered by me.
Sick.
It's all done. I've done a couple of my songs I've done. But yeah, so I'm ready to go, really and truly. And I'm in a crew called HMG with a lot of great artists as well. And everybody, basically out of 7 of us, there's about 5 studios.
Wow. So
the information and the knowledge is just flowing, just rotating plugins, everything. So everything we need is basically here within the hub. So yeah, man, there's some great artists. It's me, Donny Rampage, BWZ, Supreme Kai, Tints, A's, Donkey, Citrus, Calorific, Grins. There's a whole load of us.
Sick, man. I mean, I was going to say that kind of approach of everyone. I just love the idea more than anything else.
BWZ, sorry, how can I not say BWZ? BWZ as well, sorry.
All good. Yeah, no, what I was going to say is I love that idea of everyone within a kind of group knowing how to do everything. I love that as a concept.
Yeah, it's the best way, really and truly, because then we can just get everything done, really. Everything can move smoothly. I can be doing this over here. He can do that over there. If he has to go and do something, I can take over the job. Everything can get done.
Definitely. I mean, it's a sick way to be, man. And I think, honestly, kind of moving forward into like 2021, where we are going to see, I think, a lot more people basically doing things solo completely. I think we're going to see a lot of people who were previously in kind of positions where they were reliant on an engineer and then a mastering engineer and studio time as well. I think we're going to start to see more and more people take things home with them. I think we're going to start to see it more and more and more.
Hopefully, because as I say, what this quarantine has showed people is the necessity to be able to do things yourself, because we never know what might be around the corner. And if it's something that you genuinely love, you don't want to have to, like, there's enough things that can get taken away from us that we can't do nothing about, but there's some things that we can control. So if making music is something you love, I would personally say to you, make sure that you're in a position to be able to do it, regardless. That doesn't mean that you don't go to your engineer. Go to your engineer. If your engineer is an engineer, because that's his speciality. If you're an artist, he's probably going to be better at engineering than you. You know what I mean? So don't go and start trying to run before you can walk. You know what I mean? Go to your people, work with who you've been working with and stay in a tight unit. But make sure that if you can't work with them because for some reason you get blocked from it, you can still work. You know what I mean? The vehicle can keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel that. And I mean, that goes for so many, even outside of music, to be honest with you. It's something that I picked up from chefing. Literally, that was one of the things that I picked up was the way we got taught was everyone in the kitchen needs to know how to run every section in case someone has a day off. Like, that's always been like I think it's such a useful thing to have mentality-wise, to be able to completely understand something and handle all of its different elements. I think it's part of the recipe for success long-term, to be completely honest.
And as I say, in our days, because the information is so accessible, it's a crime almost not to try and get it. I remember once upon a time where you had to know somebody who knew something for you to be able to find it out, even down to like, where do I get my CDs pressed? Because if somebody can't tell you go there on that road there, you wouldn't even find out. Like, I remember doing this at a time where all the information wasn't really readily available, and you'd have to search deep into the like crevices on the dark places to find that information. You know, now you can literally write any question you want, and find and
find an answer within realistically 5 minutes.
Yeah, so to not know things, it doesn't make sense, or to not strive to know things doesn't make sense.
Definitely, bro. I completely agree with you. You know what? We've nearly run out of time, and I've been really enjoying this one. It's been a great conversation. I've been loving the kind of angles we've been taking and looking at kind of getting involved with things and understanding things completely yourself, and obviously the kind of future plans for yourself. Obviously, home studioing being one of the big factors in that. Before we finish up, we're going to play one more tune. Now, this one I believe is a new one from yourself and Mac 10. It goes by the name of The Best. So talk to me about this one, how it came together.
I met Mac 10 about a year ago. He called me to go and do a set with him and DJ Kai. So I've gone there, I've done the set, and we just kept in contact. And he just sent me over a track. He said to me, look, I've got a banger for you for our girl thing. I said, all right, cool. He sent it. I said, yeah, I like this. It was old Little Mo tune, refixed. So I said, all right, let's go. Did the bars, sent it over to him. He got it sorted out, mixed down and everything. Linked up, did the video. Boom, bam.
I'm done. I'm loving the kind of the simplicity behind it, of it being just like, let's just get it done, you know. Let's get it done.
That's it. Try and work easy and smooth and just get it done. That's it.
That's fully. I mean, I love to hear it, man. It aligns with my way of thinking. So I'm here going, yes, I love it. But kind of moving forward then. I mean, we're going to play this tune and then finish up the show. So I want to say thank you for coming on the show. It's been really good to talk.
Well, thank you for having me, man. Please, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it so much, man.
No worries at all, my friend. So kind of looking to socials and things like that then for people to try and get hold of you. What's the best place for people to get you on?
I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Facebook. Everything is Joe Fire EWT.
Lovely. I love the fact that everything. It's all so well aligned. It's brilliant. It just fits what I love so much. Right then, we're going to finish up the show here then, people. As I said before, thank you for tuning into this, the second to last edition of Brekky In The Cave before I return to Trickstar Radio and Breakfast with KXVU returns to this channel as well, which I'm very excited to get on the way. Before that, though, a couple of quick announcements. Of course, if you are locked in for the first time, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We are on that road to 1,000, and we're trying to get there within the next 3 weeks, so we can only get there with your help. Throw a like on the video as well. Makes a huge difference. As well as that, of course, socials for myself, Instagram, as well as Facebook, as well as Twitter and SoundCloud. All of those are available at KXVU. For the podcast as well, you can catch the show on Spotify with searching Breakfast with KXVU, the interviews. You can listen on Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud as well. Quick word from our sponsors, Sharp and Digital, before we finish up today's show. As well as that, of course, they've made a massive difference to this channel, growing it and turning it into the valid platform it's slowly becoming. The alternative to hiring social media managers, they help out a lot with SEO and things like that. So if you want to get in contact with them, please do. The official sponsor of Brekky In The Cave. And of course, this evening, you can check out the Thursday premieres as we jump into our reviewing section, reacting to the latest music videos to hit the net. And that is it. That's going to be all of it for myself. Massive shouts out to Joe Fire and Opium for joining us today. We're going to finish up on this one, coming from the sounds of Joe Fire and Mac 10. Keep it locked and don't go anywhere. Oh, yes.
Baby, at the point in my life when I'm tired of playing games, I'm ready to settle down, I'm ready to buy a house, and I'm ready to change my last name, ready to have some kids, ready for the light to
You got me impressed, come I saw the back and them breasts. You were like them other gal, them stress. When I'm dealing with you, everything blessed. Yeah, you look fly in that trackie, still look good when your hair's in a mess. You turn every man's head when you're wearing your high heels and a tight dress. Yo, I'ma tell you like Drake said in his first hit, girl, you the fucking best. Best I ever had, much better than the rest. When I told you, I said it with my chest. You're hot like Budapest, when I'm with you, I just wanna touch and caress. You're hot like Budapest, when I'm with you, I just wanna touch and caress. Girl, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. So if they try to get through, I'm here with the rest. Yeah, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. Be the best, everything blessed, yes. Girl, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. So if they try to get through, I'm here with the rest. Yeah, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. Be the best, everything blessed, yes. We could take a walk down the Thames and talk, have a deep conversation, go grab a food or go to a bar. Or we could just chill and blaze paper, pull down your panty and take off your bra. And we can start misbehaving. I ain't gonna say no more. I ain't tryna make the song turn X-rated. I just wanna give you everything and more. And you don't even care about paper. That's why I give you whatever you ask for. Keep a smile on your face. We'll argue but we never have war. After we make up, disturb the neighbors. Girl, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. So if they try to get through, I'm here with the rest. Yeah, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. Be the best, everything blessed, yes. Girl, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. So if they try to get through, I'm here with the rest. Yeah, since I met you, I don't care about the rest. Be the best, everything blessed, yes.